Reminiscent. Welcome back to Morning Joe. Beautiful
It's a beautiful morning. Let's go
City.
back to that shot for a second. I think everybody will remember. Well, you know, that's what's so unbelievable 14 years later. That we don't have control of the camera, by the way. So I'm going to blame that on TJ. But from that shot, thanks TJ, even at another network, you're still ruining moving moments for us. But the shot from the top of the rock as you look down was really the shot that we saw the buildings after they were hit. And then I don't know anybody that doesn't remember the moment when they came down. What is so unbelievable, though, is I've got a 12-year-old daughter going to school this morning learning about September 11th and a 7-year-old boy learning about it. For them, it's
history books. Just
a page in history, every bit as much as Pearl Harbor is a page in history for most Americans, Mike.
There is also right there, you can't see it with this screenshot, but the 9/11 Museum is a powerful, powerful museum that every American ought to take the opportunity when in Manhattan to go there. The exhibits are incredible. They bring everything back vividly. And we need constant reminders, I think.
We do need constant reminders, and there are a lot of people that will tell us today that we need constant reminders of the threat brought by radical Islam. And I agree with that. Political correctness has stifled that debate too much over the past 14 years. But I want my children to know something else. I want my children to know how Americans responded in the minutes, in the seconds, in the minutes, in the hours after 9/11. I want them to know how this country came together. I've never in all my life, and I doubt I ever will be as proud of this country. I will never love New York City as much as I love New York City that morning. I will love New York City forever because of what New Yorkers did that morning. And there are so many children that look at the news and see this country divided every day. I want to tell you something. It's a mirage. At our heart, at our best, we are united and we are one. And if anybody doesn't believe that, then you weren't around in the seconds, in the minutes, in the hours, in the days, and in the weeks following September 11th. And Mika, you were there. And I talk about small things that people did. You were there with a man who grabbed you as you were staring up at one of the towers falling, and you were frozen, and he grabbed you, and he threw you under a car.
Well, we went and hid in a school, and it was actually very, very close to the tower, so all the debris was coming in the windows, and I will never look at a firefighter the same way again. I thought I knew, being in local news for so many years, how brave and incredible the job that they do every day is, but they use this school as their watering station to come in, take a breath, and then walk back into the towers. This is before the second one went down. And covered with soot, drinking a little bit, and then walking back in and knowing, calling their wives to say goodbye, walking back in, knowing that they were walking to their deaths, assuming that, really, but knowing that they had a job to do. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. And I remember their faces. I remember their eyes.
And I've got a friend, Mike, who was up, I think, on the 70th floor of the second tower that got hit. He was in a business meeting. He saw the other tower get hit. And George closed his briefcase, went to the stairs, walked down those stairs while everybody else was running over to look at the window. They didn't make it down. And George saw as he was going down, and so many others saw, as they were going down to their safety, firefighters and police officers going up. And the line that comes to mind is, where do we find these men? Where do we find them?
There are just literally thousands of stories like that, Joe. firefighters getting up 60, 62, 70 floors above ground zero that day. One of the more enduring memories I have of those days following September 11th was about 3 days after September 11th, and it was about 3:30 in the morning, and I was here trying to write something about it, and we were over on 10th Avenue, and it was about 3:30 in the morning, and many people were milling around trying to find loved ones, tacking up pieces of paper with pictures of loved ones. If you see this person, please call this number. And a ladder truck came down the street with firefighters hanging off of it. And the crowd on both sides of the street stopped, turned, and started applauding wildly. And it was an incredibly emotional moment, just an incredibly emotional moment. You can walk past firehouses today, all over Manhattan, and see the plaques outside the firehouses for the number of firefighters lost in that.
Almost every one.
Yes.
Right, well, the memorial, the beautiful outdoor installation has all of the names of those that were lost, including the firemen. And a friend of mine actually joined the New York Fire Department because of 9/11.
I mentioned in my hometown, Ridgewood, New Jersey, we had 12 victims, and the impression that stays with me, I wasn't in New York at the time, or in New Jersey, is that it's a big commuter town, so people drive to the train station, they park their cars, they take the train into New York City. And the 12 people who lost their lives, many of their cars sat in that parking lot for days or a week, and were a reminder to everyone who drove by that they got up, maybe they kissed their kids before they went to school, got on the train and never returned home, and that's one of the things that'll always stay with me.